Welcome to another episode at Mybangla Official. Today I'm actually going to be interviewed by Halima, who is in her final year studying fashion, and I'm going to be answering some questions for her because as you all know, I do love a bit of fashion. So hi, and welcome to Mybangla Official, and tell us a little bit about how uni's been and how you're feeling now that you're in the last year.
It's been good. It's gone really quick. Final year, it's exciting. Yeah, no, it's really it's hectic. I don't get much sleep, so that's great. but inshallah it'll be worth it in the end. It's really fun. I honestly wouldn't have chosen anything else other than fashion.
I think it's amazing that you're doing that. I remember I met Halima actually at a shoot that I featured in, and I remember thinking to myself silently that it's so nice to see one of ours do something out the box, and I thought it's really, it's really good. It's creative as well, and if you're that kind of person that likes to be creative, then you have to shine the light, don't you? So okay, so I'm going to stop rambling on so you can start asking me your questions, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is the research I'm doing for my dissertation at the moment for my fashion degree. So basically, I'm trying to focus on how the media represents Muslims, and also kind of how people like Muslims on the internet are kind of representing themselves, and how they're kind of changing the kind of stereotype that the media already puts on about them. And so yeah, so thank you for participating in my interview.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll go straight into it. So question one is, so why did you choose to do fashion influencing through social media, and how did you grow your platform?
Okay, so fashion influencing actually started a very long time ago, before I even knew I was actually doing it. It started off by me at occasions or events, and it would be just like a picture of outfit of the day, but it wasn't hashtagged outfit of the day or anything. It was literally just me in a nice outfit, because you don't get dressed up all the time, do you? And that became it came quite apparent that people really enjoyed that, and they'd ask me like, where did you get it from? And I just love the way you put it together. And then it became something that was staged, because I had social media PR contact me and say, can we send you something, would you feature it in a picture or just mention it, do an unboxing. That went up a notch when I had some platforms and brands contact me to say, would you like to be affiliated with us? So then it became something that was content creating. From me just posting an outfit, it was content creating. When you'll go out and because you've got the affiliations, you'd want to take nice pictures for the brand. So that's how it worked. What was the other part of the question?
So obviously, why did you choose to do fashion influencing, which you answered, and how did you grow your platform?
So the way I grow my platform is honestly being consistent. I've noticed now, the last post that I've done on my Instagram was a week ago, and if you do that, there will be a break in influx of people visiting your page, because you're not always there and they know you're not there. But if you show your presence, and they'll know that she posts this kind of day, that kind of day. But that's how I stay focused on like growing the platform, just staying consistent, giving people what they want. But also you have to be you as well. Everyone's a human, so you can't be robotic, and you've got to show a little bit of yourself as well. That's what people love: transparency and authenticity.
Absolutely. No, that's great. No, it's really interesting because I think with Instagram at the moment, there's just so much competition. So I think staying on top of it is yeah, being consistent is key. Absolutely.
People either like you or they don't. There's no two ways about it. But that doesn't mean that the people don't like you won't still be there. Their presence is still there. So you just got to still continue being yourself, really. And being on social media, you have to have thick skin, because
100%.
not everyone's going to like you. And unfortunately, there is some people that decide to put themselves out there, but they can't take the retaliation. They can't take the hate comment. you have to have thick skin. It's just someone behind a screen that's not feeling too great, and they're just basically throwing it, you know, their emotions back onto you. It's making them feel great. So you know, you gotta have thick skin.
Absolutely. No, 100%. No, that's great. I'll move on to question 2. So what is your social media presence like, and what kind of content do you create?
So the kind of content that I create is, I'd say, prominently at the moment, it's a lot of lifestyle. Everything else falls into that, because lifestyle is such a broad spectrum, isn't it? It can be anything. So then the fashion and the health and well-being, beauty, it all kind of coincides with each other. The way that I'd say my presence is to everyone else looking in, it is positive. I myself, you know, I actually do attract a lot of the younger demographic. I'd say from about 18 to 25. Which is not my age. I'm in the other demographic now, a bit older. So I have to be very careful about what I put out there. I try not to be too negative, but if I ever am negative, then there's always a lesson learned from it. Not from my part, but from the person reading whatever I put up there. But no, my presence is mainly people can see I'm continuously creating content and putting, you know, positive posts out there, so they'll always take something away from it. So I'd say it's quite positive. Also, like, cross promoting, engaging with other people as well. People love that. It's nice when they tag you in a post and you repost it. You don't get paid for it, but it's the feeling you get from helping someone, and they really appreciate it. When I get someone message me saying, "Oh my god, you just reposted me," it makes me feel good, and it makes them feel good, because they might be right at the bottom of the spectrum, just started, and you know, something as small as just reposting, not even tagging them, but if they've gone through your story and they've seen that you posted them, it's really going to elevate them, and it's going to keep them going, isn't it? So yeah.
100%. That's great. Absolutely. So we can move on to question 3. So what do you feel like you are adding to society or social media through your content? It's quite a difficult question, but yeah.
This question can be very simple. You can simplify it, or again, you can really talk about it. But off the bat, I'd say positivity, a can-do attitude, showing people that I'm human, I'm normal, I go through bad, I've lost my trail of thought. Like, you know, showing people that I'm human and that I do go through general everyday life problems that I can overcome, and people do learn from that. So I think just showing people that I'm a normal person, and it's okay to have these problems, because you can come out of it and, you know, attain positivity.
100%. I think in that way as well, it makes you seem more relatable, instead of just, again, kind of like a person over the screen. Yeah.
Nobody likes to be robotic. You have to. It's a give or take, but you got to know about what you're putting out there. It's the same as yesterday, and it isn't something that emulates someone else's page as well. You've got to be transparent and relatable, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Agree. Okay, so question number 4. What would you describe your dress style or fashion sense?
Okay, so my dress style and fashion sense actually changes with the season. But autumn and winter, it is definitely more preppy, artsy, a bit more tomboyish, because you don't want to wear heels, you know. And then in spring, summer, I'm a bit more girl next door, a bit more feminine, and I like to add more vintage things in, you know, with the small print dresses, flowy dresses, things like that. But yeah, it's definitely different throughout the year, but those, you know, I always kind of jam together the two seasons, and it kind of works for me. Yeah,
absolutely. And I guess style kind of changes per season because of trends and everything as well. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. So I'm kind of like now going to get into like religion, which is going to be kind of like an interesting one. So what are your views on the hijab and niqab?
So I respect it. I'm Muslim myself, and although I don't wear it, I feel there's a modesty in not wearing it as well. Modesty can come from the way you talk, the way you conduct yourself, your manners around people. It's not just what you wear. The hijab and then niqab is so much more. If I was to wear the hijab, I'd wear the hijab. My beliefs are that I don't need to wear the niqab. However, I respect anybody that does, and nobody should be judged for it. Nobody should be penalized for it. Everybody in this world, in this country, is allowed to live free will. But unfortunately, because a hijabi looks different from the next person, you're always gonna get the odd stare. It's gonna happen. I think a lot of people are just used to it now. Don't get me wrong, sometimes when I've not got my hair done, I will just literally throw in a hijab and walk out. And I tell you, no, I do, honestly I do. And you know what, I'll tell you something, it feels, it's a bit of a security. It makes you feel safe. I know it's bizarre, but I know that everyone who wears a hijab, if you ask them how they feel about it, they do have the emotions come out of how they feel, and that's exactly how I feel. I feel secure. Hopefully, inshallah, going forward, it is something that I want to do. But for now, you know, I respect everybody, and everyone should respect the fact that people wear it differently, different colors, different styles. You know, everyone's trying, so you've got to respect that try, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. I can relate to that as well. As I'm from Devon, it's not very a multicultural area, and I've been wearing the hijab for 4 years now. So yeah, it's a big choice, isn't it? It's a big leap. Yeah, absolutely.
I think with yourself, obviously, because you're so down south as well, you as a Muslim, you're probably a minority, even so, because of the way you dress. So putting on a hijab can actually even make your closest friends be like, are you wearing that to come out with me? Are you going into town wearing that? You're not going to wear that, are you? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure you do get it, but obviously if your friends understand your culture smashed with religion, then it should be something that they take on board and be totally fine with it. But I guess through these what the hell am I saying? What's that word? Oh my god, Halima, help me out.
Through these, is
another word for time. Yeah,
or
that's it. Through you just help me out. Through these experiences, I think you get to know who's really there for you and respects you, your religion, your beliefs, your clothes, you know, and you can then whittle people out of your life, can't you?
100%, yeah.
I would agree with that for sure. Okay, so question number 6. How do you think in this day and age Islamic dress is worn by Muslims in the UK today? It's quite a broad question because obviously we spoke about how everyone has their own style and the way of dressing, but as a whole, what kind of is your view on that?
So to be totally honest, I think a lot of people do abuse it because they don't know why they're doing it, why they're wearing it. So if they've been brought up to just you're wearing the hijab, why? Because you just have to. That's not an answer, and it's not a reason. So they don't have love for it, they wear it because they've been told to wear it. Through that, people, when you're younger, obviously your classmates or whatever, you're at work, you're young, you want to look like the next person because when they've got the hair out, you think they look more attractive. So with that, they do start abusing it. I mean, I used to go to an all-girls school, can you believe? And in my all-girls school, no boys, girls used to come in, take the hijab off for, you know, school. I mean, it's not that we just had women teachers, we also had men teachers, but it's because it was probably something that was forced on them to do. So, you know, at school, they had that little bit of leeway and freedom to do that, and before they used to go to home, they did used to put the hijab back on, which we thought was really bizarre. I guess coming from a non-hijabi, my take on it, or my opinion on it, can be a little bit attacked because I don't wear it. But I know that if I was to wear it, I'd wear it with full force and properly, because I've seen the outcomes that can happen if you do wear it properly and then you don't you know, wear it properly, or if you take it off completely. So for me, it's something I'm instilling in myself that when I do it, it's going to be all out or nothing at all.
I think it is a lot about you yourself and your relationship with God, which I would say is the main thing. Absolutely. Okay. Question number 7. Do you think there are enough modest fashion or Muslim influencers out there?
4 years ago, if you asked me this, I'd say no. Right now there is, but see, there's a twist with this as well, because a lot of brands out there are embracing the hijab culture because it makes them feel like they're being inclusive, but they're not. It's because Muslims are getting a highlight on them, and they know that ultimately this, you know, the religion or the culture or the hijab is going to bring us revenue. So a lot of people, I feel as if a lot of brands do abuse it. But going back to the question, there is definitely a lot of hijabis out there that do it properly, and I love it because they're showing the positive side of it. They're showing that, you know, I can wear it properly. I don't need to show my hair. I don't need to show my neck, you know, and they look absolutely amazing. And those are the kinds of people that I aspire to, definitely.
Great. So question number 8. So how do you think Muslim influencers are doing right now as a whole? If you can say anything about that.
Good. No, they're doing really good again because brands have obviously caught on to the conclusion, the inclusive culture. So they are elevating the individual person by giving them the limelight, but I think that limelight is making that individual or the influencer probably stray down a path that's not going to be favoured later on, and it might be something that they later regret. It might not be, but yeah, I think that because they're getting a lot of limelight, they are doing well, and it's nice to see. But it's also nice to see those that started very early on, have got the hijab on, and have really elevated themselves and are in positions where they're respected, and they're still the same basically.
100%. I think a massive and quite recent example of that is the model Halima. So she completely loved the modelling industry because of how other brands and other companies made her feel about her hijab. Yeah.
That's it. You have to watch her interview. I actually watched it literally just earlier on, sitting there, and she's amazing. She's so well spoken, and it's just the way that she's addressed this whole situation is, what can I say, it's a proper way, and she's seen the light basically. And when you do see the light, you kind of think about, you know, all the things that you've done that you didn't possibly think were wrong, but the thing is, she's rectifying herself. Doesn't mean she still doesn't have a stance in the modelling world, because at the moment all eyes are on her, so there's going to be a lot of people that still want in on her, but how they're gonna work with her, I don't know, because obviously she doesn't want to go down the modelling path like she used to. So it'd be nice to see what comes out of her now and what she does next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's the thing. It's quite a big, brave step, but it's she's definitely left her mark on there. Okay, great. So question number 9. This is a little bit personal. Have you received any negative interactions through social media about your dress?
Never. It's something that I can hold my hand up and say never, because I always try to keep it very modest. I'm very conscious of my own body as well. You know, I will only wear what I feel comfortable in, and I have this saying that this saying can obviously be said in quite a derogatory term, but the way I say it is, if something was to happen to me and I was to go to, say, the hospital or something, how many people will be seeing me? What am I going to be wearing? How much of me is exposed? If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to wear it. I remember when I was younger, and you know, when you start wearing tops that are a little bit more higher, you know, and then you're constantly tugging to keep it down, or you're sitting on the sofa and you grab the nearest pillow. Have you ever had that, just to feel a bit secure, put it over your lap? So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so when you start feeling like that, you know you're doing something wrong, basically. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. No, that's really, really good. That's really good to hear that you've not received anything on that end. Because I know influencers, they do really, really struggle. The haram police, they're out there.
Out there.
That's it, I know. Oh gosh, yeah, definitely. But you're gonna get it, no matter what. You're gonna get it. So with me, obviously, I have to think a lot before I post anything, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's not just everybody else's child. I've also got an influencer child too. So I wouldn't want him to come across his mom's post or anything. I think, are you okay? Like that's not like my mom. So yeah, I have to also think about that as well.
Like set an example, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so question number 10. This is kind of like a similar, but not really focusing on dress. Have you received any racism or Islamophobia through your social media?
I haven't, and I'm sad to say that's most probably because when you first visit my page, you can't tell whether I'm Muslim or not. So I think that's the main reason why. But if we're delving into maybe comments or inboxes or anything like that, I've never had that, and I'm pretty sure if I carry on the way I am, I won't get it. So yeah.
Well, that's really good to hear. Yeah, no, it's great. Question number 11. What are your views on how Muslims are represented in the media?
Okay, the media always likes to play Muslims down. They like to paint a picture of them, things that happen, certain individuals, you know, from the past, from history, etc. But we have to, you know, shine the light on Muslims and show people that actually the way you paint us, we're not like that. The way you say we're oppressed, we are not oppressed at all. I think that's the main thing, especially when it comes to Muslim women. The first thing anyone would jump on is, you're oppressed, you can't work, you've got to have so many children, etc. Or, you know, that we always get the bad limelight. But it's just media culture, isn't it? And to be honest, it's probably a good thing that they're still talking about Muslims. So, you know, only good can come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the whole "you're oppressed" thing, it's like they're telling you what you are, which you aren't. Yeah, no, absolutely.
If you retaliate too much against that, then it's just ammunition to them. So speaking from a social media point of view, from this side, then I think retaliation is something you should just not do when it comes to religion. Just leave it.
I would 100% agree on that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, question number 12. What do you think people in the UK, especially in places that aren't particularly populated by Muslims, think about Muslims and modest fashion?
I think they probably look at you like you're an alien. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the first thing they see is, okay, she has no hair, or, you know, I'd love to see her hair, or, you know, the colourful bright scarves that you wear. It sets us apart, but we love it, why not? But, you know, I think they just think you're different, you don't belong here, you know, you stand out too much, I guess, or, you know, they don't want you to be in the same restaurant that they go to because someone might see them sitting there, you know, that's what it is. That's what I think about it, to be honest. And you can't stop people from thinking, but like I said, with hijab, with niqab, with Islam as a religion, you just gotta not retaliate and show people that you do have manners, and, you know, you just gotta keep it that way. So if they do meet someone else, they'll remember you for how you reacted with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one way of kind of breaking that stereotype of what people think Muslims are, you need to meet other Muslims. And I think when people meet them and interact with them in real life, it's kind of like all of these things that are kind of said about them is kind of in the background now. Like, they have their own personal views on them now, instead of being told how to feel about them, they can choose how they feel about them then.
That's it, and that
Yeah.
then becomes a domino effect, because they will talk about you, and if ever they come across anyone that says anything bad about you, then they will be quick to correct them. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Great. Question number 13. Do you think the fashion industry are doing enough with representing modest fashion? I think you kind of talked a bit about that already, but we'll go deeper into it.
Yeah.
We can touch on it more. So the fashion industry is all about making money, like every other industry is. But I think they're probably the biggest out there who make money. So
Yeah.
I think, talking about the past, people haven't really emphasized about modest fashion, although there's modest clothing in the shops, but it's not labeled modest fashion. For instance, like, jeans are modest if you wear a long top with it, but it's not advertised as modest mom jeans, for instance, or a modest oversized sweater. It's just called an oversized sweater, isn't it? But I think now in the recent years they have tried to reach out to the Muslim community. I know there's a couple of mainstream shops that have, you know, advertised for Eid. They've done Eid campaigns, but the one thing I've got to say is pricing is extortionate. I mean, if you want something to do well, but the pricing is not on par with everything else you've got in store, it's not going to work. And that's when it brings me down to thinking, well, you're just trying to make it look like you're being inclusive, but really you're not being inclusive. People are going into your store, they're not buying that range, they're buying everything else, and then you're just going to get rid of that anyway afterwards. So, you know, it's a bit controversial, that is.
It is, yeah, a little bit. And I think we can see examples of that in the sense of, like, H&M, for example. Like, they, I think a while back, they did like a modest fashion collection or a line. And some of it was quite basic, which you could probably pick up in one of the markets in Birmingham, I'm sure, for probably half the price. So, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's just about making money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great. So final question. How would you want to grow your platform even further? Any dreams, aspirations? What are your next steps?
Okay, so I think with my page going forward, maybe talking about maybe a 5-year plan, to be honest. I do want it to be a brand. I'm actually currently going through a phase where I'm thinking, do I change my name to Me? Do I want to keep the brand that people see now? Because people do see you as a brand, even if you're not continuously showing the same thing on your platform. So I really want to do that. I want to try and seek different avenues, you know, make brand awareness, see what people really love, see what I need to question myself as well, and see what I really love and see what I can put out there. So yeah, I'm just going to continue being you know, having a presence on social media. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. If anything, I'm going to be more available and on Instagram, and I think that'll probably just take me from strength to strength, hopefully, inshallah. It's been hard getting to I think I'm on like 13k. To me, I honestly, in the beginning you think, wow, so many followers, but really, you know, you build relationships. I've got so many amazing relationships with crazy amazing brands now, you know, that see you as an ambassador, and I absolutely love it. You know, talking one-on-one with an actual human that is really from this brand is amazing to me, and you know, it makes you want to do better, because you know that there's people out there that see you for who you are and that you can make a difference to them. So for me, I really appreciate that, and I'm just gonna try and go from strength to strength from here on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's actually really nice to see your platform grow, actually, because I think when I first met you, I think, you know, you did have a following, but I think I have seen it shooting up since then as well, which is really good to see, alhamdulillah, which, yeah, no, it's great. I'm sure it is tough, but no. Yeah, so I think that's it with all the questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Honestly, I really appreciate it. It's nice when I'm on the other side and people are like, can I ask you a few questions? Especially when I read all your questions, I was like, I think these questions are tailored to me, so I could never say no to you, and I'm always there to help someone. So I hope and I pray going forward, the rest of your year goes smoothly for you, and you get your outcomes that you're wanting. And being a fashion student, I can't wait to see what you do after it. So I'm sure you've got plans.
Too many. But no, thank you so much. Yeah, my dissertation should be up on my university website. So if you ever want to check it out.
When it is, you'll have to. If it is now or when it is, you'll have to let me know so I can go and have a read of it. I'd love to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll send you the link directly.
Thank you. Thanks, Halima, for being here. And hopefully we'll catch up with you soon.
All right, speak to you soon.